Oh my god, this is crazy!
Middleofnowheregaming.com. Everybody go to that website. Say we sent you.
Yeah, get that traffic
I bet they're really good at Minecraft. They're probably the antithesis of us.
This is the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast.
Welcome into episode 58 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Courtney Osborne, and today... Hi. What? Did you say something?
Hi, Courtney.
Oh, hi. And that lovely voice on the other end is my Nintendo Ninja, Lou.
How's it going, everyone?
Not very much energy, I see.
No, I'm not in the screaming mood today. I have a 20-page paper.
Dude, get in the freaking mood, man! Okay, so today we are not joined by Miles.
Why not, Courtney?
Okay, so I'm hearing that he's on a hot date with this person called Mom. No idea who she is. Never heard of Mom before, but he's with Mom. If anybody has seen him, please report to us what is going on with this date. We'd like to know.
Believe it or not, I think I might have some secret intel about this Mom woman. Ooh. I've heard from various Xbox Live users that Mom has been slept with a good number of times. So please, Miles, be careful out there.
Oh no. Yeah, those Xbox Live users are very, very smart and educated when it comes to issues like this.
Discussion, Mom.
Yeah. Mom is a big topic. So, besides all of that, we have a huge announcement to make. This is an announcement that is a really long time coming. It's been in the planning stages for what feels like years. No, we haven't really been a thing for years, but anyways. So, we are announcing today that there's officially going to be a Middle of Nowhere Gaming Patreon page.
What is a Patreon, Courtney?
A Patreon is, okay, what Patreon is a website where content creators can go and get pledges from people based either by content or per month. So what we could do is we can have people pledge $1 or $2 or however much they want to support us, which we hope it's for supporting your favorite content providers, and we hope that we are your favorite. So you could come and support us on this website.
So what you're saying is this is sort of a monthly Kickstarter kind of thing.
It's not at all Kickstarter.
But it's not Kickstarter. It's patreon.com.
Yes, it's patreon.com// Middle of Nowhere Gaming. It's really, really different than Kickstarter. You can pledge for a month and then you don't have to pledge the next month. You know, if you run out of money or you don't feel like supporting us anymore.
You just don't like us anymore.
Or if you want to take a month off, you're more than welcome to. Like, you don't have to continually pledge stuff. However, you're welcome to. You can pledge as much as you want.
My question is, for those that aren't pledging, do they get punished at all?
No.
By any chance?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, cool.
We are going to continue doing everything the same way we do. We already do. We're going to keep putting our podcasts everywhere on the internet, and that's iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, YouTube, all the different websites, all the different podcast places. Everything's going to stay the same. Patreon is what we think of it as is it's going to help us pay the bills. The website and podcast and host and all that stuff has all been coming out of my pocket for the past year and 2 months now. And, I don't mind paying for all that stuff, but it starts to add up after a while, and I would appreciate the help. And so what this is going to do is it's going to, first of all, help us pay these bills, pay our monthly bills for the podcast, for the website, for the domain, for all of that. But it also has the potential of, depending on how much money is pledged to us, we actually want to make more content. We have more ideas for podcasts, for video series, for all these different things. We just don't have the sort of resources to be able to do them right now. And so if it goes up a little bit, if we get a little bit more than just paying the bills, then we're going to start putting out more podcasts. We're going to start doing more giveaways. We're going to start including more guests on podcasts. It's got the potential to be really, really, really fun with the amount of content we want to do.
All right, so I have a question. You said that Patreon isn't like Kickstarter.
Yes.
However, do people who are donating and pledging some money for us, the people, our fans and supporters, do they get something like how people who donate for Kickstarter get stuff?
Oh yeah. For each pledge amount, dollar amount has some sort of different reward. So we have different rewards for $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, $30, $35, $40, $45, $50, $100, and $200. So if you want to pledge $1, then awesome. We're going to make a MONG thank you page, a patron thank you page on our website, and that's going to have a monthly list of who pledged money to us that month. If you pledge $2, you're going to be able to you're also going to be on the list, that thank you list, and then you're going to get access to patron-only giveaways every 3 months. And it just goes up and up and up. And we've got more and more cool things we're adding to it. The list isn't finalized. We still hold the right to change it. We can add cool things if we want. Which we plan to whenever we come up with more ideas.
Can I highlight a couple of really cool things? I think I'm going through this list right now.
Go ahead.
So one of them is, for those of you who've been listening for a while, we're thinking of starting a podcast called Blow the Cartridge. Blow the Cartridge is going to be another gaming podcast. However, if you were here for episode 50, or you've listened to episode 50, where Courtney, I, and a bunch of fans and a bunch of people from our staff came on and drank and talked video games, and it was kind of more comedic and a lot of looser than this sort of podcast. We're going to try and do that weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, or we're going to do that. However, if you donate a certain amount, then you get to come on, you get to drink with us, you get to chat with us, you get to be on the podcast. That sounds like fun to me. Another one, which I want to bring up, is if you pay $200, I will chug a whole bottle of ketchup on video, saying your name or singing a song the entire time I chug. I don't know if it's possible, but I'll do it. And I'll do it for you, listener.
Yeah, that's I'm really excited about the possibility of starting the Blow the Cartridge podcast. That's going to be really fun to do. So I hope we get that goal, and I hope somebody wants to be on it with us and pledges that amount. That'll be really fun.
Right. Oh, and wait, I got another one. I actually think this one's probably my favorite. Not chugging the ketchup, because that sounds awful, but I will do it. For $15 in a month, if you decide to do that, you're going to be invited to our monthly MONG game night, which is a new thing we're doing. And we're going to try and coordinate with everyone so that a bunch of the patrons and a bunch of us on the team and Courtney and I and all of us will be on Skype together, playing a game together, a multiplayer game, and just going at it and having a great time, drinking, doing all that stuff. And if you want to be part of that, if you don't have a ton of people that you play video games with at home, and just want to chill out with a bunch of friends and a bunch of guys and all of that stuff and just bro down, then that's a great option. I can't wait to play with a bunch of you people.
Yeah, we've had a few experiences playing with fans and friends alike the past few months, and those have always been really, really fun days or evenings. So hopefully we can schedule some really cool, like, Super Smash Bros. Nights. Like, that would be fucking awesome.
Also, if I ever try to say bro down again, please hit me. I wanted to hit myself as I was saying it.
Oh, man. Okay, so then along with the Patreon, we wanted to throw an awesome Happy Mong Thanks giveaway. And so in celebration of the Patreon, we're holding another giveaway like we do every few months. On this giveaway, you can literally, if you win, you can literally get any game released this year you want. So
this year, do you mean
2014?
2014. So that includes, let's say,
Dragon Age, Far Cry 4.
Damn.
Destiny, Super Smash Bros., Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, Halo Master Chief Collection, Infamous Second Son with its DLC, because that wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like any game this year.
On any console.
On any console.
Let's spice this up a bit. Or instead, if you don't want any of the games, you have them all, you're good at collecting all this stuff, you have a job, et cetera, we'll also instead give you a PlayStation Plus subscription or an Xbox Live Gold subscription for a year, if you'd rather that.
Yep. So you have literally endless options, whatever you want from this year, pretty much within the $60 price range. We're not going to give PlayStation Plus and a game, but one or the other. And you can also get a t-shirt, a MONG t-shirt if you want. As usual, there are the same giveaway entries. You can do, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, tweet about the giveaway, follow our Instagram, tweet a friend to follow us or enter the giveaway, subscribe to YouTube, write a written review about the podcast, and then here's where it gets fun.
I love the fun ones.
The last three are the fun ones. One way you can get 10 entries into this giveaway is if you write a MONG Podcast video game synopsis, and that's a one paragraph describing what a middle-of-nowhere gaming video game would look like. You can include a title, story summary, or you need to include a title, story summary, genre, and what the three of us podcast members would be doing in this game. And we're actually going to read our favorite synopses out loud on the podcast, so everybody can hear our favorite entries. Our favorite will not determine whether or not you win the giveaway. We
might have a special prize. I might do something for the winner.
Yeah, you get 10 entries into the giveaway regardless of just writing the synopsis, but we will pick the favorites and we will read the favorites. And then along with that, for another 5 entries, you could draw the cover art for that said video game. You draw the theoretical MONG Podcast video game, be creative, include the title, and then the picture has to do something to do with the game, and then we just require you to take a picture of it or scan it and send it to our email address, contact.mong@gmail.com.
Right. It also doesn't have to be actual drawing. You can do a Photoshop. You could do something cool on the computer. I know a lot of you guys are technical people, and feel free to do that. Yep. We love anything.
And also, we'll probably include the pictures on the podcast as well, like the video version. So if you watch the next video or the following video, you'll be able to see them all. And I wanted to add to it, the more realistic the case, the better. So like if you actually include the PlayStation 4 blue case and how it would look, or the Xbox One case, that would make it really, really, really cool. Just personally. And then the final way to enter this giveaway is that if you're a $2 patron for our Patreon that we just announced, like we said, one of the things you could do, or one of the pledge things is if you pledge $2, you're going to get access to a giveaway every 3 months. That's not started yet. However, if you do that pledge this month for November, we're going to give you 10 more entries into this giveaway. And so you have a total of 40 entries in this giveaway, with the possibility of more if you do the tweet daily and recommend a friend daily. You can do those. And this giveaway is going to run for 2 weeks. It's going to run until November 18th at 12:01 a.m. So November 17th at midnight, which is a Monday. So it's Monday night, Tuesday morning. That's when it ends. And we will announce the winners on the podcast that next day, and then promptly send the game you request, and if you request a shirt, or if you request PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold. So yeah, I'm super duper excited about Patreon. I'm super excited about possibly starting more podcasts and playing games, playing the MONG game night. That's going to be exciting.
I'm excited about this giveaway. I think we should launch Patreons more often, because this is an awesome giveaway.
Launch Patreons. We should launch another Patreon every month and have a giveaway. So now we're done with all that. We're not going to mention that again until the end, just as a reminder. So, on to the normal podcast stuff. Anything worth mentioning this week?
We have Xboxes.
We have Xboxes.
That's awesome. I love my Xbox.
I'm warm towards it. You know, I don't love it. I'm growing to like it.
Have you used... Wait, first off, you don't own a Kinect. I think that may make a small difference.
I don't think that would make any difference to me.
I love the Kinect.
I
cannot say how much I love the Kinect because I use it for a lot of multimedia. I watch a lot of Netflix generally, and I love just being able to walk in my room and saying Xbox on, and the TV turns on, everything turns on. I don't have to grab my shitty universal remote that doesn't work. I really enjoy it as the multimedia machine that it was sold as.
That's good. I would not use it at all. Like, it's just not. It's not a thing I'm into. I don't like voice control. I don't know. The only thing I would probably use it on is streaming to have my face. And that's about it. But I would like to point out that last week after the podcast, I don't know if I mentioned it, that I was feeling a little sick on the podcast. I think I might have, but either way, I ended up getting severely sick and injured. Something happened to my shoulder, side, and chest. And I ended up in the hospital the next morning. And so, like, for the first 4 days I had an Xbox One, I was not able to touch it.
Right.
I was so upset, laying in bed in pain. Like, why can't I play you? But eventually was able to finally play it over the weekend and got a lot of playtime in on it when I could. I don't know. I guess I enjoy the Xbox One. I hate the fucking...
UI?
Windows 8 UI bullshit. Like, I just cannot stand it. I can't figure out the fucking store properly. Like, it is so shitty the way it is right now. I'm glad that they're going to be updating it.
Right. That's probably one of my bigger selling points for the Kinect is I don't think after the first day I've actually tried navigating the UI at all. I'll just go Xbox settings and I'll go to settings. I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't have to fucking find that.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I still don't know where that is.
Other than that, like, I've had issues installing games, downloadable games. Like, it takes fucking hours and hours and hours to do it for some reason, even though my internet speed is more than fast enough to download them within 30 to 45 minutes because it has on PlayStation 4 and PS3. So, like, I've had issues with that. However, my favorite part about Xbox One is the fact that the achievements tell you how close you are to getting them.
That's really cool. I wasn't sure if it was actually the achievements because I also downloaded an Achievement Hunter app or something.
No, it's the achievements.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. But
Sony needs to jump on that.
I mean, we got the rarity stuff, so like that is a difference. But
I would take the progression
close?
bar
Yeah.
over rarity.
Me too. I absolutely would.
Because I now play with that snapped all the time because I love watching it go up. That's just something.
I don't play with Snap at all. Like, I can't stand Snap for some reason. Every time it does it, I'm like, no, full screen. Like, when I click on something, I want it on the entire screen, damn it. I've done that so many times. And then I did something when I was playing Sunset Overdrive the other day, where the achievements stopped popping up, the notifications.
Yeah, that happened with me too. I'm not sure. It might just be a thing with the Xbox.
Yeah, I had no idea. I got really far into the game and had seen, like 15 achievements pop every time I get it. And then like the last 5 or 6 achievements just did not pop. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, they were there when I went to the achievements. They showed that I had them, but they just didn't pop up and show me the notification. And it says that my notifications are turned on for achievements. So I have no idea what happened there.
Right. So I want to plug my gamer tag because I've never really had a gamer tag.
Okay.
My gamer tag, for those of you listening and those of you who have an Xbox One or 360 and plan to get an Xbox One, et cetera, it's Sweet and Lou. Kind of like Sweet and Low, except the N is replaced with a full and. All one word. You can find it if you're Facebook friends with me. You can find it there. I have it written down. If not, it's pretty easy. Just Sweet and Lou.
Mine is almost the same as my PlayStation Plus or my PlayStation account name, and it's Osborne 309 instead of 2009. So, and that's just that goes back to like when I was in high school. I graduated high school in 2009, and so that's what the 09 was. And like the 3 had to do with like all throughout high school, my group of friends was 3 of us, like best friends, you know, like we had shitloads of friends, but it was the 3 of us who always went everywhere together, did everything and all that stuff. And so it was just like 3 of us, 309. We all graduated in 2009. And so we all had 309 at the end of our gamer tags. So that way, when we played Call of Duty or Halo, like everyone would know, oh shit, these guys know each other. Like they're talking to each other and they're probably going to be coordinated. And that's the way it was. So.
Right.
But fairly good times with my Xbox. I'm really looking forward to playing Halo. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Good times. Okay, so then besides that, we have one more thing to move on to before the news, and that is we have an iTunes shout out this week. Bum-ba-da-da. We got a review on iTunes from JPC 2006, and it's a 5-star review, and the review says, this part is in all caps, the best video game podcast ever! Exclamation point, exclamation point. And then after that it goes to lowercase, and it says, 1,000 out of 900 listeners found this review helpful. So,
awesome. So that means those 900 people were so excited they birthed 100 people.
They split off into more people. So, or that may be 100 pregnant women. We may have 100 pregnant women who.
In which case, congratulations to you.
Yes,
you'll be great mothers because you're listening to us. There
are going to be 100 babies named Courtney, Lou, and Miles coming up. That'll be interesting. So thank you again for the iTunes shout out. We appreciate it. And if anybody else wants to leave an iTunes review so that we can give you a shout out on the podcast, all you have to do is go to iTunes and search the store for Middle of Nowhere Gaming, and you could promptly find our podcast page there, and then just leave us a review. So let's move on to the news from nowhere.
Okay, so Destiny's first expansion's release date was revealed to be December 9th. It's titled The Dark Below, and the expansion will include the new story mission centered on the Hive God Crota, a new strike, The Will of Crota, a new raid, Crota's End, new gear and weapons, an increase to the level cap, which will be level 32 now, and 3 new Crucible maps. Additionally, PlayStation players will also get a second exclusive strike, The Undying Mind.
Why was all of this content already on the disc?
Because they've probably been working on it a lot, and just the shell structures were on the disc. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's actually... Your bullshit reasoning right there was more truthful than any of the other stupid opinions that people have. Is they have to have the base there for the DLC. Like that's what they do. It's what games do. That's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to The Dark Below. Looking forward to playing a few new strikes and stuff, raids and story missions and all that.
Have you played the original raid?
No, I still haven't.
Me neither. We need to do that. We got to coordinate that.
That could be a Mong game night.
That can. If we have any if we have any Destiny Sherpas, is that what they're called? The raid people that
no idea. I have been so tuned out of Destiny for like a month and a half now.
Right, yeah, me too. But if there's anyone who is just fluent with the raid now, even with all those hot fixes and whatnot, and want to carry a 28 through...
228s. I'm a 28 also.
228s through the raid, then just let us know, because we need that.
Yeah, we'd love to go through it.
We need that raid gear.
For sure. Okay, so moving on with story number 2. Dying Light will no longer be coming to PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. Unfortunately, last week, Techland announced it on their Facebook. The official post said, much of this next-gen feel is tightly connected to the technological side of Dying Light. For instance, up to 200,000 objects can be displayed in the game at once. Add to this our use of realistic physics-based lighting technology, and you really start to push the next-gen systems to the limits. Features like these, along with our core gameplay pillars, such as the player-empowering natural movement, threefold character development system, and vast open world, are all an inherent part of how Dying Light plays. However, combining all of these into one fluid experience is only possible on technologically advanced platforms, meaning the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 suck and are not powerful enough to do all this. So, all of you people who are looking forward to Dying Light on last-gen consoles, sorry, but
Make the jump.
Yeah, it's time to upgrade. It has been more than a year now. It's time to make the jump.
Win it from Taco Bell.
Win it from Taco Bell, or sell your old consoles, sell all your games, sell your soul, do whatever you have to do, but get a next-gen console, current gen. That way you can play cool games like Dying Light. I, for one, am looking forward to this one, so... But I look forward to a lot of games.
Would you be upset, though, Courtney? Let's say that this has been a game that's been basic. It has been promised, right? They did say that Dying Light was coming out for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
They never said promise, that's for sure.
Well, they said that it was coming
But
out.
Yes, it was stated that it was coming out on all platforms.
So would you be upset?
It was strange to me. Okay, maybe if I didn't already have it, I could maybe see it. But at the same time, common sense says that games are going to stop coming to last-gen consoles, eventually you have to move on. And I guess the reason I have such a hard time feeling like I could be upset is that all along, I felt like Dying Light was going to be current-gen only. When they announced it, it felt like it was current-gen. It looked so beautiful. I don't even think I knew it was coming to current-gen until a few months ago. It just always to me felt like PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But I don't know. It's weird. I understand why it's not going to last gen.
Right. And if you are on last gen, then I wouldn't feel bad about it. I think that you guys would personally prefer waiting a bit for the game than getting something that is buggy and stuttering and has frame rate dips and all of those negative aspects you would generally get from just having a poorly designed technological game around the system.
Agreed. If people complain about alphas not working properly, then people would definitely complain about a full retail release not working properly.
Which we will get to eventually.
Mm-hmm. So moving on.
Moving on, Star Wars Battlefront is set to jump to Lightspeed. Its destination, holiday 2015.
What?
The news comes courtesy of EA CEO Andrew Wilson, who revealed the launch window during an investor call. This sets up Star Wars Battlefront as EA's tentpole game for the 2015 holiday season, especially in light of the announcement that the next Battlefield game, after Battlefield Hardline, won't be released until 2016. Little other additional details are known about Star Wars Battlefront, other than it will be a first-person shooter and will use locales from the original trilogy.
So who uses tentpole to describe?
That's a pretty common term, I think.
I have never heard that.
Because you don't listen to Nintendo podcasts. I think a lot of Nintendo podcasts describe tentpole releases as Legend of Zelda and those ones that come out once a generation.
I guess maybe. But that's not once a generation the way that was described. That was described as more like a flagship game, which is a primary release game. But anyways, I'm super, super fucking excited about Battlefront. I did not expect it to be that soon. Next holiday, that's awesome. However, it is only a release window, so that could easily be moved back. I.e. Titanfall, Infamous, all those other games.
Right. Yeah, this is good news. I really like Battlefront. I've never seen Star Wars.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I've been a big fan of both Battlefront 2, and Bounty Hunter on PlayStation 2. Those were my 3 Star Wars games that I've ever owned. And I loved all of them. I just don't understand the lore.
And never once decided to watch the movies.
No.
You're so weird. Okay, so moving on. Masamune, Sony's firmware 2.0 for PlayStation 4, has brought about a bevy of new features to the console, but it also appears to cause problems for users. Luckily, there may be a workaround while waiting for update 2.01. Error reports center around a pair of issues, including connecting the PlayStation 4 to YouTube and booting from rest mode, which is the renamed standby mode. While the problems are not universal, a sizable amount of users have been affected, judging from the volume of complaints on the official PlayStation forums and various gaming websites. In response to an email from Game Informer, a Sony representative stated the following: "We're aware of issues reported by some PS4 users following the release of PS4's latest system software update version 2.0. We're investigating these issues and will provide an update once we have more information. In the meantime, the Ask PlayStation Twitter account has been replying to queries about it with instructions. It says, go to safe mode, reinstall the software update, which is option 3. To boot up the console in safe mode, hold the power button for 7 seconds and release after the second beep. The first will happen when you initially put your finger on the button. From there, you should choose option 3, update system software. And then there's also a link for more details on it. For one thing, I never put it in rest mode. Like, I've never done that, never planned to.
Do you have a commercial charger for your controllers?
I have the plug or the cord that came with it to plug. Okay,
so you just charge it while it's on, right?
Yeah, I just charge it while I'm playing whatever I need to.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I've never been a fan of the whole leaving it in rest mode. If I was going to do that, I would just leave it on. You know, if I wanted to charge the controller for an hour, I would leave the PlayStation 4 on and not put it in rest mode. Like, for some reason, rest mode scares me. Like, it not being able to wake it up. Or if I was one of the people who leaves it on for days at a time to download updates and stuff, like, I'm afraid of it burning out because I've had too many consoles burn out. Like, everything about rest mode or standby mode I don't know, scares the shit out of me. And so I never wanted to do it, and I never have. Do you also unplug it, just to be sure? No. I unplug it whenever there's a storm.
That's fair. I have a surge protector for that, though.
I do too, but I've had surge protectors fried from storms and also fried computers and TVs that were plugged into it. So,
God, those Kansas storms.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kansas is fucking crazy.
Over here in New York, it just hits the Empire State Building and we're fine.
But yeah, so that really does suck that this kind of thing is happening. And people are complaining, you know, every PlayStation 4 update comes with more problems. Well, yeah, because they can't fucking test it on 13.5 million PS4s, which is a story for later. But, like, you know, I don't know. It's every update on any game or any console will add more problems that they couldn't test for or they didn't predict and stuff like that. So hopefully...
This seems like a big one, though. I will give people that.
Why? Why is it big? Because you could still turn it on even if that happens. All you have to do is unplug it, which is not that big of a deal. It's not like it's bricking consoles.
Right. Yeah, no, I can't imagine that they went the entire test period without trying to go into YouTube or without putting the console in standby.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. That would be if it's universal, though. Maybe it didn't happen on them.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know. I haven't tried my PS4. I haven't had a reason to turn on my PS4 in a decent amount of time. Because the Xbox One.
I downloaded the YouTube app, but I haven't tried to connect to it yet. And like I said, I don't put it in rest mode, so I haven't had to worry about that issue. So my PS4 is still fine, perfectly fine. No problems after the update. In fact, I love the update. It's so much faster.
They just need folders. That's all I want.
Dude, have you played around with Update 2.0 yet?
I have. It's limited to 15. It looks beautiful. I just want folders still.
The library is fantastic. Love the library edition. Like, that definitely takes, like, it eases the folder, the lack of folders.
Wasn't the library in the back? It was there. It was just, like, always in the back, like 50 away.
Well, they changed it if it was, because the library is new. That was a big part of 2.0. But, yeah, so that sucks. Moving on.
Xbox Live, this is you and me, Courtney, for once. Xbox Live members can look forward to 3 new free games in the month of November, as Microsoft has announced the latest Games with Gold lineup.
Can I interrupt you?
Yes.
It's only me for 2 weeks. With that,
You're not going to renew it? You're not going to renew it?
No,
for
I will, yes. But right now, I'm only on that 2-week free subscription that came with the console.
Right. What about the Sunset Overdrive one?
What do you mean? That came with the console? That's what I'm saying. The free 2 weeks that came with the console.
I did a workaround
Oh.
by accident. Because I was doing it in the dark. I was putting in my codes in the dark, and I couldn't see the screen, and I couldn't see what I was typing in. So I ended up just being like, fuck it, I don't need Xbox Live for Sunset Overdrive. And then they're like, well, would you like to try a month free?
Oh, yeah. Xbox does that. I used to be able to do that by creating new accounts. And I would get a free month on every new account. And so I went like a year without having to pay for Xbox Live back in like 2007. I would just make a brand new account and play games online, play Call of Duty, you know? Like I just had new names.
So yeah, now I have that free month plus 15 days.
Nice.
And then I have Christmas. So.
I may do that after my 15 days are up or whatever and see if that does something.
We should do a Secret Santa, I think. With the Mong staff.
Mong Secret Santa?
Yeah, and fire anyone who doesn't participate.
We're sorry, Miles. You didn't participate this year. You're banned. Okay,
all right, so going on to the actual story, yeah. Xbox One owners will get Volgar the Viking, an old-school 16-bit side-scrolling platformer with tough gameplay and only a couple of buttons needed to play the game. For Xbox 360 owners, you'll get 2 free games split over the month. Between November 1st and November 15th, you'll be able to download Viva Pinata, Trouble in Paradise. I love that game. I think that's a rare game, maybe?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that was a fantastic game, so go play that if you never did. It looks deceivingly childish.
Yeah.
But it's actually pretty interesting. If an open world shooter taking place on Mars sounds like it's more appealing to you, then between November 16th and November 30th, you'll be able to get Red Faction Guerrilla. Which
I can vouch for that one. I grew up a big Red Faction fan, so whenever that game released, I was super excited about it. That game has like environmental physics where you can you have this giant hammer, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, and you could just destroy buildings and structures and then watch them collapse and stuff, and it's really fucking cool. It was a really fun game. Definitely not the best game, but at the same time, it's, what do you really expect? You're getting it for free. But I do vouch for it, so definitely give it a shot if you like shooters. Or if you were a Red Faction fan growing up like me, or if you want a new shooter.
I'm really interested to see what the deals with gold are going to be.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that is or if that's been announced yet.
I hope that the new store update fixes how to see all of that.
I just go to the marketplace on marketplace.xbox.com.
I didn't do that. I was using the Bing search on Xbox One to try and find it, which is ridiculously stupid, by the way. Horrible. But okay, so you know how Chariot was the free game last month?
Yeah.
Was it only free for the first few days, or wasn't it supposed to be all of October?
I think it's all of October
because I logged in on the 29th and could not fucking find it. It said it was $14.99. I was like, what the fuck? This is supposed to be free.
Yeah, just definitely go to marketplace.xbox.com. It's like what I do with Sony because I prefer to go to Sony or PlayStation Entertainment Network or whatever it is. Yeah. I always use the webpage for it, and it's much easier, and the interface is a lot cleaner, and you could go right to sales and specials or right to Xbox Live Gold. Do that.
For sure. Okay, I'll do that from now on. I use the app on my phone for PlayStation Plus, so that's how I get those ones. So anyways, moving on.
Moving on
up. PlayStation Plus membership is now up to 7.9 million users, and it was announced that PlayStation 4 has now officially sold 13.5 million units. I'm sorry, I kind of just stopped. Million. Oh, so big. The news comes from a Sony earnings conference call for overseas investors and analysts. Sony's chief financial officer, some name Kenichiro Yoshida, which is not Shuhei, said the PlayStation Plus membership has reached 7.9 million. 3.5 million units sold worldwide after selling 3.3 million units in the second quarter. So that's 3 months, they sold 3.3 million. That's over a million a month, which is freaking ridiculous. Can you imagine if it keeps that up? Like, oh my God. However, these were the only bright spots on the financials. Sales were up 74%, resulting in the division's current operating income for the year, which hit 196.5 million. Everything else about Sony looked really, really bad because the company is reporting an operating loss of $771.5 million.
Rough.
That is rough for Sony, but they have a shitload of money to spend, so it's not like that's going to kill them at all. But it's good to know that gaming is definitely on the rise, or is definitely doing really, really well for the company. I'm still kind of stunned at the 13.5 million. Like, that was announced at the end of October, which was just under a year for the console being on the market, and it's sold 13.5 million in just about 12 months. And so it's sold over $1 million a month for that full year, like averaged out. That is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad to see that they're doing fantastically. I really would like to know how Microsoft's doing.
Yeah, everybody would. Everybody would.
That's the only one that's really kind of questionable right now. Not that they're not doing well. I'm sure they're doing fantastically, and that they're just not reporting it because they don't want to look bad in comparison. But I know that Wii U is on the rise. I know that PlayStation 4 is on the rise, and I'd love to see how Microsoft's doing.
I definitely want to see. I can't wait to find out like the full like actual numbers for both of them, so we can compare them and see like total sales. I'm really, really interested to know how they're both going to do in the coming few months, this holiday season, because it was expected that they're going to get total sales up to about like 30-some million between the two. And I'm just wondering if, last year each console sold about 1 million a month for the holiday season. Well, this is a bigger holiday season, and so you could feasibly expect at least 1.5 times as many consoles sold each month, or maybe even 2 or 3 times as many. And so we could potentially see in the next few months, 6 million more PS4s sold, 6 million more Xbox Ones sold, something like that. Like that would be ridiculous. I can't wait to find out how they do, especially with all the deals that are going on right now.
Right. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see how this is going to shape up for them. I really want to see what the outcome of the holiday season is for all companies.
Moving on.
1 second. Let me just scroll down. Super Smash Bros. Players have been banned with lifetime sentences. Has to be read like that. Many people playing Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS online, including Reddit user McMichael, have reported that they've been banned for 136 years. There are several reasons a player can be banned, and I think these are crazy reasons, by the way. Targeting one player, quitting in the middle of a match, self-destructing on purpose, and remaining inactive during a match. God forbid you have an emergency in your house, you slice your hand open, or there's a murderer there, you also get a life sentence from Nintendo.
These are such Nintendo reasons to ban players, too. Like, it's so great.
How do you get in trouble for targeting a player in Smash?
That is the kind of bullshit you see on Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus, where you killed one player in a game, say 10 times, because you ran into them 10 times, and you were better than them. They're going to report you for targeting them. They're going to report you. Oh, you had it out for me for some reason. You know, like that's the kind of bullshit. Like,
does that actually happen? That's not just a Nintendo thing?
No, that happens everywhere on Call of Duty and Halo. Like, I always got messages. Why did you only focus on killing me? It's like, dude, you walked in front of me 15 times. I'm sorry I killed you 15 times. Like,
have you ever gotten banned or been threatened to ban for that, though?
Oh, I've been threatened that they're going to turn me in. Yes, to Microsoft or to Sony. I've definitely been threatened, but I've never seen any ban or anything like that. And my reputation on Xbox has always been maxed out at positive and stuff, so
right.
I've never had any issues with it. But I've definitely been threatened by all the 10-year-olds playing on Xbox Live. Right.
To follow up on this, Nintendo has not given an official statement on the glitch. The problem has been affecting players for a few days now, and it should not be limited just to American players. Japanese player Zenaors1 tweeted a picture of the notification on the 3DS. So, yeah, you guys aren't safe outside of America. Watch out. We can't protect everyone's freedoms.
No. Okay, so moving on. The Evolve Alpha happened over the weekend. It was supposed to start on Friday and I believe end on Monday or end on Sunday. It was end on Sunday night. However, PlayStation 4 was not able to get into the alpha at the right time when everybody else was because of issues with firmware update 2.0 on PlayStation 4. So, throughout the weekend, they worked on it. Sony and 2K were working together to try and solve the issues. And on Sunday, they announced that they had fixed the issues, released a patch for it, and then the Evolve happened, or it was extended until Tuesday, November 4th, which is today for us recording. And however, there were still issues. People still had issues getting in and finding matches and stuff like that. So there was issues across the board. Many people had, it wasn't just Xbox Live, or it wasn't just PlayStation 4 though. Xbox One owners also had the same issue, finding matches and stuff. It didn't happen to everybody. There were people who played it on both consoles and had no problem at all. Other people reported never being able to get a match. However, this is expected. It's an alpha. It's not a final product by any means. It's a test product. They're testing out their servers, which is a reason why you didn't get a match. You know, like there's no way that this is the final product. So, that's, unfortunate for the people who didn't get to play. I had an invite to both Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and downloaded it on both consoles, but I never got a chance to even start it up. Like, I was too focused on trying to beat Sunset Overdrive and playing Fantasy Life and stuff that I never even tried it. So I don't even know if it would have worked for me.
Right. I actually did play it.
What'd you think?
On Xbox One. It was fun. There were major technical issues, which is to go into that it's an alpha, and there's going to be technical issues. That said, I was at times and at best waiting an hour for the next game to start.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was pretty hectic. And then there's a really cool classing system, basically, where you pick which class you want to be. You can set a preference. And if you go in as a party, you're not supposed to get the monster because you're at a party, so you could coordinate and you probably want to play with your friends. Whereas if you're the monster, you can't hear everyone talk. And when I would go into just about any match, they would completely negate the preferences I made. Because I'd always put monster last, I'd end up playing the monster. Or if I'd go in as a group, they would separate me from the group and have me play the monster.
Aww.
So yeah, was...
that's definitely something that won't be a problem in the final release, or it shouldn't be.
Won't. Yeah,
I don't see any reason why it would. Or at least the algorithm will obviously you'll have a chance of playing something like that, but it's not going to happen as frequently as it probably happened for you during the alpha.
Right. I think it's going to be a good game. I still don't know if I'm going to buy it. I think the jury's still out on that. But
I'm going to play it.
Yeah,
I may rent it or something, but definitely I don't think I'm going to be a day one purchaser.
Right. It matters if all my friends go and grab it. That's
exactly.
the thing.
For sure. Moving on.
Moving on. Dun, dun, dun. Nintendo quality of life sensor has been shown at the not the press conference, the investor meeting, along with some other stuff, including preloading, region unlocking, and reasons to why the new Nintendo 3DS is delayed in America and other countries. Nintendo gave an opportunity to here it is. Satoru Iwata, CEO of Nintendo, explained that the new quality of life sensor is going to be a sleep analysis kind of sensor, which will be able to analyze your sleep and fatigue levels and show the quality of life. This will be able to show whether you're well rested. It'll follow your breathing patterns, follow whether you need to exercise. It graphs it all out.
You're a fat fuck who doesn't sleep or exercise enough. Change that.
That's essentially what Wii Fit is. Yeah, so that is going to be the quality of life so far. I don't know how thrilled I am about it. And by that, I mean I'm not thrilled about it. Yeah. But if they slap a Nintendo character on it, I'm going to fucking buy it because that's what I do. That is my job. And they know that. Additionally, they mentioned preloading, which is something I didn't even think the Wii U or the 3DS would be able to support. However, they said that it's coming sooner than you think. They're going to bring preloading to the Wii U first, and afterwards it will be coming to the 3DS. It probably needs some giant workarounds, though, with the interface. On top of that, Miyamoto, when he was questioned about region locking, said that it's a big consideration for the next generation of hardware to not include region locking, which would be fantastic.
Which would mean Aaron, who previewed the new 3DS recently for our website, if the region locking was off, he would have actually been able to play American games on it. Yeah,
that would have been a ton of fun for him.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Iwata confirmed that why the new Nintendo 3DS is delayed. And this kind of goes along with the messaging that they've been saying, is that they don't want to show off the new Nintendo 3DS until they have software to back it up. And over in Japan, they have Monster Hunter, which is a giant thing.
Yeah.
Everyone will buy a new Nintendo 3DS to play Monster Hunter. Over here, there's fans, but it's not a big following. It's not a Zelda. It's not a Mario. It's not any of that. So they're waiting for them to be able to show something like that. My guess is a Majora's Mask.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Maybe a purple, like, Triforce new Nintendo 3DS.
I would love a Triforce 3DS.
I really wanted the one that came out, the 3DS XL with Link Between Worlds.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to play Link Between Worlds eventually, now that I have my 3DS. Like, I've just recently completed my first 3DS game with Fantasy Life, and I'm stoked to be able to play more games on it. Like, I can't wait for Alpha Sapphire. Like, that is going to be so much fun.
I'm going to be honest, I was surprised you could get over the graphical fidelity of 3DS games.
Dude, it's Fantasy Life. It's a level 5 game. Like,
it looks beautiful. It's just not graphically compelling.
Yeah, it's not fucking Uncharted 4 by any means.
Right.
But I've played Pokemon games my entire life, so I'm used to the handheld, shitty-looking graphics. And then level 5 was able to be really artistic with Fantasy Life, so it was really cool.
Speaking of which, I'm going to plug Fire Emblem again. I think that you would really enjoy the art style to that.
Oh, I want to play it really bad, so that's one of them that's on my list to get eventually whenever there's a sale.
You could probably just go ham at Target with the...
I was thinking about it next week.
Yeah, you could probably just get a ton of like old 3DS games that are fantastic. Like, I don't know, did you get Ocarina of Time?
No, I didn't. I have it for GameCube, which I think I could technically play on my Wii U, right?
You could technically play it on your Wii.
Well, Wii U. I don't have a Wii.
Not on a Wii U, though.
Damn it. Okay, well, never mind then. But yeah, if anybody's wondering what we're talking about, Target's doing a deal right now where you could trade in games to get 2 times the credit, or 50% more credit. And I think 50%, that's it. Which means something like you could trade in Middle Earth and get like $40, which isn't bad. because you can't really sell it to other people for any more than that anyways. And then next week on Sunday, the 9th, for a full week, they're doing a thing where it's buy 2, get 1 free, any game, any console. So that includes games like Assassin's Creed Unity, Assassin's Creed Rogue, the Master Chief Collection, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Sunset Overdrive, all those games. Any game you want, buy 2, get 1 free. So that's, if you want to go to Target next week, you can get a shitload of games. Like, I'm definitely going to be doing that.
Right.
But moving on with the news, Resogun is officially coming to Vita. Initially, this information was noted from Sony XDev Studio Europe executive producer James Hawkins, in a comment on the PlayStation blog. In response to a user question about a PlayStation Vita version of Resogun, Hawkins writes, "Keep watching this space. The Vita version is coming and is looking, sounding, and most importantly, playing great." However, last week, Housemarque officially confirmed that a PlayStation Vita version is in the works. The port is being developed by Climax Studios, the team behind Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition on PlayStation 4 and Dead Nation on PlayStation Vita. So, expect Resogun on Vita. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play, because it's a fucking crazy ass game with all the lights and stuff going everywhere, explosions and stuff. However, it does feel like a Vita game. Like, it absolutely feels like it belongs on Vita, and so I'm excited to be able to play it.
Yeah, I'm very well known for being a big Resogun fan for Middle of Nowhere Gaming, but I haven't touched my Vita in a very long time. I think there's a lot happening right now, and I will definitely come back and play that at some point, but Resogun is pretty far from my mind.
Yeah, I also haven't touched my Vita, but that's not because there's not games on it. It's because I have PlayStation TV, which is fantastic. I cannot stress that enough. Playing Freedom Wars on my TV is so fucking good. Anyways. So, moving on.
BioShock Infinite is getting a re-release. What? 2 Games has officially announced when BioShock Infinite, the complete edition, will be available. The game will launch on November 4th for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. PC is not scheduled to get this re-release, unfortunately. The complete edition will include the original BioShock Infinite, plus DLCs, Clash in the Clouds, and Burial at Sea, Episode 1 and 2. The bundle will also hold all weapons and gear from Industrial Revolution, Upgrade, and Early Bird special packs. All this will be priced at $40. That is a hell of a bundle. Yeah,
that's not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, you could get the game right now, basically anywhere for like $9.99, so $10, and then the DLC packs are what, like $10 a piece or $15 a piece, something
probably
like that.
Probably like $15.
And so yeah, you could get all of this for almost that much, maybe a little bit more, but all this in one package, that's fucking awesome. I wish, however, that this announcement was not PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. I wish so badly that this was an up-res next-gen version, PS4 and Xbox One. That would have been fucking so cool. Like, I would have loved to get that on my PS4.
Right. I think that this is... I got in a big argument with people last week, I think, when they announced The Last of Us Collector's Edition.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that.
I still haven't even looked into that, really. Isn't that the Europe-only thing? If it is, why are we arguing about it?
It may be. But there's a good chance that's probably going to be released all over. And I think that doesn't have this kind of savings to it. Or that I just feel like The Last of Us wasn't as DLC heavy. It might not necessitate a Game of the Year edition like other DLC-laden games like Borderlands or Skyrim or those kind of games.
Yeah. I mean, this was specifically being released BioShock Infinite one is being released because everyone did enjoy the game so much, and 2K probably wants to make that extra buck. If they can release it as a package, they're going to get more money. It's not that you can't really get all of these for about the same price separately. It's probably more about the convenience, re-releasing the game, creating recycled excitement. People who loved BioShock, but may have sold it. It's been over a year now, almost 2 years. They may have sold it, and then they're going to see this and all the DLC, which they may not have purchased originally. This is not a bad deal. Not a bad deal.
Yeah, this is a good deal. I'm for it. Go. Next one.
Alrighty, moving on. Okay, so PlayStation Plus rewards have been announced for November, which is this month if you weren't paying attention. If you didn't check the calendar recently, it's actually been 4 days in November.
Right now, it's 4:44 for me on November 4th.
It's 3:44
Not for you.
for me. An hour before that. So anyways, on PlayStation 4, gamers will technically get 3 games. The first game is The Binding of Isaac Rebirth.
Great game.
Procedurally generated game from Team Meat, who was known for developing Super Meat Boy. In The Binding of Isaac, a boy is about to be sacrificed by his mother and must escape his doom in this roguelike game. Okay? So, and then the console will also be getting SteamWorld Dig, which both of us highly endorse. It's a game where players are in a steampunk world and a secret is lurking underneath the surface. You play as a robot named Rusty as you dig for resources such as ore and water. For more information, you could check out our review, which you wrote, right?
Yes, I did. And I think it's got a few extra sections by...
for the Wii U and stuff,
for the
right?
Wii U, yep.
And Vita, I think, too. Maybe not.
I think it came out... When I reviewed it for PlayStation 4 and Vita at the same time.
The third game on PS4 is actually a port of the PlayStation Vita game Escape Plan. In this game, you control Lil and Larg as they escape from a trap-filled prison. This game, a launch title for the Vita, will also be cross-buy with the Vita. So if you don't have it on Vita currently, if you get it for right now, you'll be able to get it for both Vita and PS4. Which is the same as The Binding of Isaac Rebirth and SteamWorld Dig. They're actually all cross-buy, apparently. Which may be wrong. But anyways, so for PlayStation 3 users, you'll be able to download Frozen Synapse Prime, a top-down tactical shooter that was originally released on mobile devices. Here, players must be able to navigate their troops from level to level, destroying everything in their path. The second game is, I forget how to pronounce this, isn't it?
Luftrausers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's an arcade flyer where players are thrown into a 16-bit sepia dogfights. Sepia dogfights.
Like, that really brownish kind of tint.
Yeah, but why is that? I don't know. The description seems a little off. Anyways, the game allows players to upgrade their planes so that they could take down other planes, really, and even aircraft carriers. Both PS3 and Vita owners will be able to pick this one up. And then finally, Vita owners will be able to pick up The Hungry Horde, a zombie game where you control the zombie army. The purpose of this game is to infect as many humans as possible before the city, the Hungry Horde is set. Before the city it's set in gets bombed. With mini games like a Snake variant with zombies, Vita owners will get some mileage out of this one. Overall, pretty strong month. I'm looking forward to playing The Binding of Isaac. I'm looking forward to playing Escape Plan, Luftrausers, and The Hungry Horde. So
people are not happy about this month. The internet, believe it or not, is upset.
No.
They say it's too many indie games.
Really? With the thousands of retail games being released this month, you want more retail games.
I don't get it. I paid, $5 a month, and I get some of these are some of the best games I've played on PlayStation 4.
It's $50 a year, 12 months. So $2?
$2.
2 times... No, that's wrong. $4. 4 times 12 is 48. So yeah, a little over $4 a month.
I swear we're college and graduate students.
Yeah, whatevs. I never liked math anyways. Actually, I'm a natural at math. But no, yeah, I'm like you. These indie games, honestly, PlayStation Plus giving me indie games like this is the reason I'm playing them. And it's the reason I'm exploring more games and finding such special games like, SteamWorld Dig. Games like that. Like if they weren't on PlayStation Plus, I never would have played them. And so I love this month. I can't wait to play some of these.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
Sega has announced that Valkyria Chronicles will be coming to PC. It will launch on November 11th, which is next Tuesday. Valkyria Chronicles was developed and published by Sega and was released on PlayStation 3 in 2008 to critical acclaim. It's a tactical RPG with shooter elements and is set in the 1930s in a fictional Europe. I think it's called Europa. Like, literally. So, I've heard fantastic things about this game. Like, that it's the number one game you shouldn't miss. It's the number one game that doesn't have trophies on PlayStation 3. It's everyone's favorite underrated game, all that kind of stuff. I did have it at one time, and I played it for a while, but I'm not very good at tactical games like this. I can't do it. I get outsmarted. I'm not a Battlefield strategist. Like, it's just not me.
Right.
So, you sound like you're tuned into something else, man.
No, I'm not. I'm just, I'm not really into
anything.
Well, not this game. I don't know. I think I need to kickstart my JRPG love again. I don't know what the problem is, but I just can't get interested in JRPG games.
I am
Japanese role-playing games.
I'm absolutely opposite. I love them and continue to love them.
I think it's just that I do not have the time.
Yeah, see, that's my problem though, is that I put all of my time into them and don't have the time to play all the shorter games. It's like, fuck. I want to play them all.
Right. I still think to this day one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game, is Final Fantasy VII. And I put hours upon hours upon hours into that. And I can't even imagine doing that anymore. I spent like a year and a half playing that game because I had a printout of... Did I tell you this? That I printed out the walkthrough to Final Fantasy VII.
You did?
Because I didn't know how walkthroughs worked or that stuff. I remember going to GameFAQs for the first time and looking up Final Fantasy VII and thinking, wow, this guide's really helpful. Let me print it out. And not checking how many pages that constituted.
Yeah, I did that on a few different guides for like Harvest Moon and stuff like that on PS2 back in the day. And realized when I looked over at the printer, it was like on page 100. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I just saw a little bit of news that apparently Destiny has cracked 9.5 million registered users. Just saw that on Game Informer. That's pretty incredible. That's a huge, huge number. And then I saw a tweet from an industry insider, Shinobi602, and I think he's joking. Because of that news, the 9.5 million users. But his tweet says, Activision, develop on Destiny 2 has already begun. So that could just be playing off of that other news. However, he does tweet a lot of insider information, stuff he finds out way before anybody else, stuff he finds, hears through the grapevine. So I don't take that for what it's worth. It's probably a joke playing off that news, but who knows?
Right.
Who knows? I wouldn't doubt it if it's already begun. Like, not at all. But at the same time, who knows?
It seems early.
Yeah, it's a little bit early. It's only been 2 months.
Though, I'm still surprised people are playing Destiny.
I'm not at all. With the amount of people with the amount of people that played Halo and Call of Duty for months and months and months and months and months after it was released, does not surprise me that Destiny's the same way, because it's the same game as those.
Right, but I felt like there was more of a draw to... I guess I'm not a multiplayer person, so I don't understand that. In my head, I just see the people doing campaigns over and over and over again. But I guess there is also the people who play multiplayer.
Yeah, that like me. While everyone else on the team was playing the story mode, I put in 60 hours of multiplayer just playing Crucible. So it took me forever to beat the story mode compared to everyone else.
Right.
Moving on with the news. We've got two more.
We're on 14 for those of you keeping count out there. Nintendo announced that not all Amiibo figures for Nintendo will be freely available. Nintendo President Satoru Iwata announced during Nintendo's financial briefing that some Amiibo figures will be available as limited time offers for the Wii U and 3DS. Iwata stated that the Amiibo figure lineup for Super Smash Bros. Will continue to be released even after this year-end sales season, and we hope that this will help to update store shelves. As store shelf space is limited, some Amiibo will remain stocked on the shelves as staples, while some will be limited-time offers, which will cede their positions to new ones once they're sold out. Yeah, I don't know.
That's kind of disappointing to me. Like, knowing that they're not going to be there forever is just like, wait, what?
To me, I was hoping that these figures would work through every game. Maybe not every game, but like, I hope that they had some sort of lasting appeal besides just being the entire cast of Super Smash Bros. And I know that right now, certain ones are going to have a higher investment to purchase than the others. If you go and grab the Mario, that's going to be used in a ton of games. Whereas if you go and get, I don't know, pick one. Rob? I think Rob is one of them. You're never going to use Rob again. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing that way.
Yeah, that is disappointing. I don't know. Like, I've always been skeptical about Amiibos, and then, or Amiibo, I guess, is the plural way of saying it.
It's Amiibo figures.
Yeah, Amiibo figures. I've wanted them to be cheaper, and now it's just even more of a, I would like to have them just, because, but I don't know. I guess making them collector's items is kind of cool, creating them as collector's items, because some of them won't always be available, and so they may go like on sale for a lot of money, and people will really, really cherish them and really want after. They'll be highly sought after. That could be a cool thing, and then they could bring them back as special deals, like every other year or something. That could be a cool way of doing it, but at the same time, it feels like I'm missing out if I don't buy them now.
Right.
Which may be what they want.
Yeah, I actually had to cancel my pre-order of all of them. But that's only because I will then be getting them all for Christmas.
There you go.
It's a very easy Christmas present to tell my relatives is just give me this small little action figure, because that is what I get when I'm a 23-year-old man-child. But seriously, I do get laughed at by my parents, but they understand why I love it and why I want to do it.
Yeah. So there may be more to that tweet. Let's see. Polygon just tweeted out that they had sold 9.5, or they have 9.5 million registered users, and direct sequel is already in development. But then when you go to their page, it says they've started work on their next expansion. So whether or not that means After the Dark Below, the next expansion like that, or if that means Destiny 2, no idea.
We have the official press release from Activision Blizzard, so we could look it up. Yeah, it's in our in our mailbox right now, but we're doing this at the moment.
Let's see. Da da da. Da da da. Da da da. You guys listen to me singing. You like it? Tell me if you like my singing. I'm awesome.
It's nested in a bunch of financial results. There's no way we're gonna.
Yeah, there's several pages here. Destiny 2? Nope. Destiny sequel? Nope. It's like, what kind of keywords can I put in to find out?
Selected business highlights. For the third quarter, Activision Publishing's Destiny was the largest new franchise launch in video game history and ranks among the top 10 largest video game launches of all time in the U.S. To date, Destiny has more than 9.5 million registered users, and our active players are playing the game an average of more than 3 hours per day. Additionally, on December 9th, Activision plans to release The Dark Below, first expansion. And that's all they have in the press release. Yeah. So unless Shinobi knows something that...
Well, and that's, like I said, also Polygon tweeted and wrote a story about it, and IGN has a developing story on it right now. So I guess we'll find out soon what's going on with all that. Who knows? Interesting detail or interesting news though. Regardless. So the last news on the news from nowhere, a GameStop press release on November 2nd confirmed that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare will indeed have a zombie mode, and all of you playing Advanced Warfare already know that. However, the zombie mode is only going to be available for season pass holders. The season pass costs $49.99.
What?
So if you want to play zombie mode, you have to pay 50 extra big ones to get this. That fucking sucks. That sucks.
That's awful.
So bad. The season pass will consist of 4 DLC map packs titled Havoc, Ascendance, Supremacy, and Reckoning, and will retail for $49.99. They'll also be available separately for $14.99 each. So you can get them separately for $60 total, or all together for $50 total.
Is this going to be the nail in Call of Duty's coffin?
No. Because apparently Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is the shit. Apparently everyone is loving it. It's universal high scores. I've yet to play it. So I'm excited to play it though. But yeah.
That's good to hear, but I'm not sure if people are stoked the same way on Call of Duty, even if it's a good Call of Duty.
I'm pretty sure my ear to the ground, paying attention to what's going on with Call of Duty right now, everyone is excited for Advanced Warfare. Like skeptics, people who have fallen out of the series lately, everyone wants to play this because it's being praised as the revival. It's being praised as the big one. It's being praised as, the one that gets everyone interested. I don't know. I'm super excited to play it.
Right, and hopefully that spreads over to the non-gaming followers for, news. But that's the big thing, is if it's going to continue to latch on to the casual bro users, the ones that just go and normally buy the monthly sports game or the yearly Madden or those.
Okay, so the update on the Destiny story. Sorry about that. Sorry about this. I just found the update. Polygon has changed their story. It is a sequel. It says, let's see. Destiny was the largest new franchise in video game history and ranks among the top 10, blah, 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 like you said, according to publisher Activision. So it shouldn't be surprised that Bungie is not only working on more expansions, but the next full game. Activision Publishing CEO Eric Hirschberg announced today work has also begun on future expansion packs as well as our next full game release. We're very pleased with the launch and continuing engagement. Damn.
Nice.
That is really fucking cool. I didn't actually expect that to happen.
So quickly.
Yeah. But, working on the next full release literally means they could be in a room being like, all right, what do we want to do?
Let's put a story in the next game.
Yeah, that could be what it is. You never really know. They're probably not away coding what they're going to do for the next game, because that's what they're doing for the expansions right now. They're probably just storyboarding, planning, and all that. But that's cool. Good news. And then back to the shitty news. I'm really disappointed because zombie mode is one of my favorite things about Call of Duty, and I do not want to pay $50. No way in hell. No way. It's just, no. Call of Duty was already going to be a rental game for me, and because I don't want to pay $60 for a game I'm going to play for 2 or 3 weeks, and zombie mode would have kept me in it a little bit longer, but there's no way I'm going to be able to justify adding another $50 to it. No.
Right.
Sucks to suck, bro. Sucks to suck.
Yeah. So, I was really looking forward to zombie mode, and now I don't know if I will buy the game, if I'm being completely honest.
It's definitely not a buy for me. Without zombie mode, no way am I buying it. I'm going to get it on GameFly. That's all there is to it. This episode was brought to you by GameFly. Everybody be sure and sign up to GameFly. Tell them Osborne_2009 sent you. Okay, so let's move into the review wrap-up. Yes. Awesome. You want to take the first two, and I'll take the next.
There's a lot of reviews.
Yeah, we had a lot of reviews this week.
We have a lot of new staff members. Thanks everyone who's been welcoming to them, and we've been having a lot of content lately. Yep. Thus a lot of stories and thus a lot of reviews.
Yep.
So good job everyone if you're listening.
Yes. Awesome job. Awesome job this past week and a half, 2 weeks. It's been great to see shitloads of content on the website and reviews. So the first review.
So starting off,
Do you want me to start and you go the next, or do you want to go every other, or what do you want to do?
I'll do the first two. You do the next two.
Okay. Well, I mean, mine's after that, after the next two. So.
Well, we'll work this out. Anyway, Stealth Inc. 2, a game of clones. Oh, that's an awful pun. For the Wii U.
I like it.
That was written by Matt Batson, new guy, and it was given an 8.9 out of 10. Good job. Despite some frustrating puzzles, so he says, in the free-roaming portion of the game, Stealth Inc. 2, a game of clones, is yet another excellent platformer by Curve Digital. The presentation is astonishing and exceptional, especially for an indie game. The innovations of game-changing gadgets keeps gameplay fresh, and lastly, the core mechanics of the game, as well as the level design, is well polished. To sum it up, Stealth Inc. 2 is more than just a clone of the original.
That's it's good news.
Yeah, that's a solid recommendation.
I've never played either of them, so...
You probably own it. I'm pretty sure they've given out Stealth on PlayStation Plus a good number of times.
Possibly. Speaking of PlayStation Plus, a little bit of other news. I guess I should throw out there.
The news never ends!
The news never ends. It's always... Dude, in the video game industry, it never does end. Like, it's all the time. So PlayStation Blog put out a post about a sneak peek at PS4 PlayStation Plus lineup for December and January.
What?
In December, they're going to be adding Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition and Secret Ponchos. That's fucking awesome. I want to play Injustice, and this is going to give me a reason to.
Have you never played Injustice?
Nope.
Oh, it is so good. I got it when it was on sale for some stupid cheap price, like ridiculously cheap. That was that month that it was one of the top bestsellers, and it was like a year later.
Yep. In January, this is awesome. They're adding Infamous First Light and the Swapper. Like, oh my god! I know you already have both of those. I mean, I have one of them, but the Swapper, I've been wanting to buy that so badly. It's and really now I have a chance to be able to get it for free, and I can't wait to play it. So that's awesome. Anyways, so moving on. The next review was written by Benji. It was for Tetrobot and Company, or & Co., if you want to say it like that. He gave it an 8.4 out of 10. He said, all in all, it's very enjoyable. It looks, plays, and sounds great, with only a few hiccups here and there. The game is very difficult, though. Whether that's a pro or con will depend on the person playing. While many levels can be completed in mere minutes, others can take well over an hour to solve. Sometimes, when I'd be taking a break from the game, I'd find myself staring at kitchen tiles trying to decipher puzzles. Anytime I saw a grid, I'd start to imagine what blocks I could pick up and where I could put them. I love it when a puzzle game overflows into real life. I think maybe I actually inherited a psychobot and it was moving blocks in my brain to help me solve puzzles. They should probably advertise that feature. That was well put. That's a good review. I have no idea what that game was. Hadn't even heard of it.
That's on the Wii U. It's a very small indie game, but I guess that these puzzle robot games are really just killing it this month.
Yeah.
I think it's Swing Submarine if you're looking for the developer.
Oh, for that game?
For that game.
Okay. So, next review.
Next review, we have Civilization. Sid Meier's, of course.
Civilization.
Beyond Earth.
Beyond. Sorry.
Beyond. This was Matt Keats who wrote the review. He gave it a 7.5 out of 10. He said in his conclusion, overall, this game is an enjoyable romp. Despite small improvements to a solid core game experience, I can't help but feel like Firaxis is riding the coattails of Civilization 5 and Sid Meier's something Civilization?
It was in the beginning of it. He used acronyms for the rest of the rest of the review after he first said the name. So,
whilst not really making any significant leaps forward in terms of game mechanics or fidelity. There are plenty of new forms in this game, but very little is new in terms of function. It's not so much a lack of features as it is a lack of unique and clever new mechanics. If you're new to the series, this might just be the right one to jump into. The streamlining of game features will make it easier to take control of your civilization, and the core gameplay that is ubiquitous to Civilization series is here, even if only slightly refined. If you're a veteran like myself, you may want to wait for a Steam sale and some DLC, as you might find yourself wholly bored after the novelty of the new paint wears off. That sounds like a really good review, a conclusion. Now I definitely know where I stand.
I played Civilization 4, I think. Gold Edition. I think I purchased that back in like 2008 or so. Played the shit out of it. Oh my god, like I love that game. And I've wanted to get back into the series. I wanted to get Civ 5, wanted to get Beyond Earth, but I'm not a PC gamer, and I kind of flirted with it back in high school, which is why I got Civ 4. And so I want to get into it someday. And this may be one of those, even though it doesn't seem like it advances the series, I think I would enjoy the whole space element to it. I think that would be fun.
All right, so moving on to the next one. Let me cover this one too so you can get the next one.
Okay.
Bayonetta 2, reviewed by Patrick Garrity. Surprise! It's great. It got an 8.8 out of 10. This game has everything except a story. And that's why I couldn't go higher with the score. It's not the fact that it's a separate story in the Bayonetta universe, but it's a direct sequel. If you've not played the first title in the series, though it's included, then you'll be lost. The game focuses heavily on events in the original, and there was no explanation as to why in Bayonetta 2. Yes, they included a port for the first game, and I bought the game... Yes, they include a port of the first game, and I bought the game to play Bayonetta 2, not spend 15 hours with the first game before I played the game I bought. A quick 15 or 20-minute movie or comic narrative would have worked out great to bring new players up to speed as to what was going on and who some of these characters were. The cutscenes were awesome, but I had no interest as to who these guys were. But like I said, I don't think that it is the meat and potatoes of the game. It's the gameplay and the action. Both are done amazingly, and I can't remember the last time I was so impressed with how I was playing something and how I was getting my character to react on screen. You simply have to play it to believe it, and it was simplistic. The over-the-top action pieces and levels were the best I'd seen in a long time. This game is just plain fun. If you're looking for a solid title for the Wii U, this is your game. Now we need more of this for the console.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get Bayonetta 2. It's one of those must-have Wii U games, and I can't wait to play it. It's a matter of that we're in the holiday season where there's so many damn games that I can't. There's just no way I can get it right now. There's no way I can make time for it right now. But this is one of those games that I'm going to play during one of the lull seasons when we don't have a whole lot of games. Possibly December, January. When I'm caught up. It may be when I purchase this one. It's universally high scores everywhere, and including us. That was a great review by Patrick. I'm glad it ended up being a good game and fun gameplay.
Right. I think this is tied for, at least on Metacritic, for like best game of the year or one of the best games of the year.
That's cool. That's really good news, especially knowing that's a Wii U game.
Right.
Okay, so continuing with the Nintendo stint. Next is my Fantasy Life review, which I gave an 8.1 out of 10. What I said in the verdict was, by the time it was all said and done, Fantasy Life ended up being the best chore list I've ever completed. And when I say I've completed, I'm lying, because there's still hundreds of challenges and other requests for me to do. The writing is absolutely charming and exactly what I'd expect from a level 5 game. While the pacing of the story felt off, the gameplay and the life system more than make up for it by giving you so many fun things to do and places to explore. Fantasy Life is the perfect handheld game because of its varying play styles. If you only have a few minutes to play, then you can complete a few challenges really quick. I'm still addicted to Fantasy Life and trying to find even more time to play. to iterate on what I meant by the chore list, since this isn't the full review on the podcast, you get like tons of challenges and missions and stuff, and you have this menu where it like lists all of them, and like missions and quests and other requests, all that stuff. It could be something like, get 10 apples, cut down 5 of this tree, get 6 of these logs, kill 10 of these enemies, kill this major enemy as a bounty and bring it back. So like you can have a bunch of them listed, and then each different life you can choose also has challenges. And so if you pick up all the lives at once, you could have a ton of challenges, which just is like a giant chore list. And it was just so much fun going from challenge to other requests to, main story mission to it was a blast. I had a blast with it. I really, really highly recommend Fantasy Life for 3DS. If you need a 3DS game, if you need a game to play on a bus or a long car trip or just in between classes, or if you just want to sit down all day and play it, like you could literally do any of those. It's perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. How about you do the next one too?
Okay. The next one, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is that Shantae or Shantae?
I think it's Shantae.
Okay, so the next game is Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. It was reviewed by Harry, and he gave it an 8.6 out of 10. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is an absolute delight. The great gameplay, music, and story offer players an intriguing and enjoyable experience. Though there are some hiccups with respawning monsters and certain objectives, these shouldn't majorly deter you from the game. The third installment of the Shantae series does not disappoint, and for $19.99 on the 3DS eShop, it is well worth the price. If you download it, you won't be disappointed.
I've heard good things.
I hadn't heard of the game until last week, and I've heard nothing but good things from it.
So in other words, this is just a great week for Nintendo. I don't think anything's gotten out of the 8.0. So if you have a Nintendo system,
I was saying,
go buy a game.
A lot of Nintendo games last week, and they all got good scores. So that's cool. Good news.
Right. Last but not least, this isn't a formal one. This is just a small review preview. My review is probably going up tomorrow. In fact, it's definitely going up tomorrow. But this is for Sunset Overdrive. Now, Courtney, you've played Sunset Overdrive.
Yep.
You want to spitball a bit? What do you think?
I beat it. Okay. It is so fucking funny. Like, there was moments where I literally had to pause the game and just crack up. I was like, what the fuck just happened? There are so many pop culture references. Like, if you keep up with current TV shows or current news stories and stuff, there is going to be some sort of a jab in there at it.
Or gaming culture too. That's another big one.
Gaming culture. Yep. It's totally made fun. Nerd culture. It's, LARPing. There's Breaking Bad jokes. There's, I don't
know about you.
Game of Thrones jokes.
My favorite one by far, and I'm not going to ruin anything, was in the ending scene. With when names were scrolling.
Yeah.
I thought that was one of the best done endings.
Yep. But I knew it was coming. Like, right. I predicted it because Erica was next to me whenever I was playing the last mission, and I looked at her and I called out what happens. So yeah, that was awesome. I really, really, really enjoyed it. It's a very, very fun game once you get a hang of the controls.
Right. It's a little jarring to begin, but I really enjoy it. And now, I don't know if it works the same way with you, but I'll be going down the street. I'll be looking up the power lines going, I wonder how I can get across this without touching the ground.
Yep.
And that's really something about being a game that ports to real life. No matter how much they try to break that fourth wall, and they do try to break that fourth wall a whole lot, you can't help but be absorbed by the game.
Like, they constantly break the fourth wall with all the respawn animations and stuff like that, and he'll talk to you and stuff, like, as the player. He will literally talk to you. I don't know if you've ever experienced this one, but whenever you fast travel or just turn the game on, sometimes the camera will be really, really zoomed into your character, and he'll turn around and look at you, and he'll push the camera back. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
The first time I saw that one, I was like, what the fuck?
Or like sometimes in the later missions when you have to go all the way across the cities.
Yeah.
he'll almost talking to the player go, "Oh, thank God we could fast travel and do this."
Yeah, I love that. Because there was one time when I saw that, and my objective was like 1,200 feet away or meters or whatever, and I was like, "Fuck!" And he said that, and I was like, "Oh, good point."
Or another one that I really enjoy. And by the way, we're not ruining anything because there's a whole lot of we couldn't, even if we wanted to, we couldn't sit here and name all of the fourth wall breaking stuff.
No, there's so many, and there's still so much of the game that I haven't experienced, even though I've beaten it and beaten a lot of the side quests and collectible stuff. There's a lot left.
But towards the end, he's like, "All right, we're going to, raid this or die trying." Well, I guess not really die, maybe respawn trying, but whatever.
Or see a bunch of unique respawn animations.
Or something
like that. I cracked up. That was a good one.
And one more thing I want to note, and then you could expect a really good review for this game. I mean, it's going to be high 8s, probably not. More likely low to mid 10s.
It's a very, very, very good game. Very good game.
I highly recommend it. But another thing I think they did really well was they really made these boss fights fun and epic.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't remember enjoying a boss fight quite like I've enjoyed the boss fights for Sunset Overdrive.
And it's not even that the boss fights were fun, like in the mechanics of it all. And they were, but like that's not even the entire story. It's the dialogue that happened during them also. Like the back and forth bickering between your character and the boss you're fighting, or with another character who's trying to help you, or like that is just so funny.
I'd be really, really upset if this doesn't become an actual Microsoft IP exclusive.
Yeah, I don't ever see Sunset Overdrive coming to any other consoles.
I hope it doesn't. I think that this is a great reason for me to come and play Xbox.
Well, it's just like Ratchet and Clank. You're never going to see it on Xbox.
Right.
But it's always going to be a PlayStation game, but Insomniac's going to continually develop it. And Sunset Overdrive, I have a pretty good feeling it's going to be a series, and it's going to stay on Xbox as well.
Hopefully.
So, hopefully.
Though Insomniac does own this compared to Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. But anyways, so look out for that review in the next 24, 48 hours. That'll be out there. And let's move on to the listener questions.
Let's probably rush through these. We've spent a lot of time on this podcast, a lot of news.
Yep, we're at an hour and a half right now.
Woo!
So first listener question is from Tunde, and he asks, what is the hardest achievement or trophy you've ever got? Probably beating a game on hard. That's probably one of those. It's probably... No, and I think I've actually talked about this. I think we've been asked this question. The hardest one was for Halo. I think it was like Halo 3, where you had to jump off a cliff and assassinate an elite or something like that from at least like 200 meters or something like that. And so it was like only doable in one section of the game, and the guy you were supposed to assassinate moved below you after that, like down that cliff or whatever. And so you had to time the jump and aim it perfectly to assassinate him. And even if you did, the trophy or the achievement was glitched, so it didn't always actually register. And so I tried it for weeks, and I actually did the assassination probably 20 or 30 times and never got the achievement for it. So that's probably the worst one. And I did eventually get it, I believe. It's been so many years now.
Mine was just completing Catherine.
Oh God, yeah.
It's not, I don't think it's the objectively hardest one. I think the hardest ones I've ever gotten for some reason were in Flower or stuff like that. But I just am not physically and mentally wired to play Catherine.
Yeah.
That puzzle game just did not work in my head. And even beating it on normal was like a giant achievement for me.
Okay. Next question is from Dennis, and he said, are there any games or genres you suck at, but you love them regardless?
Yes.
What's that?
The one that I very, very much suck at is fighting games. Like real fighting games, not Super Smash Bros., which is more of a arena-ish fighting game. I really just am awful at the Mortal Kombats, the Injustices, all of those. For instance, I once played Injustice for 3 or 4 hours with the same opponent. Didn't win a game once. And he would pick the worst character. I'm awful at it, but I really enjoy playing him. I just can't understand the mechanics well.
I think mine is probably roguelike games. I'm not good at roguelike games whatsoever, but for some reason I find many of them so charming and I love playing them. So, like Don't Starve. Love the shit out of that game, but I suck so bad at it. I am not good at it, but I love it so much. Okay, let's move on. We'll go ahead and use Dennis's other two questions for next week. Sorry we didn't get to them, Dennis. We will go to them. But the final question this week from another person is from Jake, who is frequently sending questions, and he asks, would you rather have Ebola or butt cancer?
This is such an easy answer for me. Easily Ebola.
Easily Ebola. You'd rather
Ebola because
it's curable?
That, and also I'd love to be quarantined. If they told me that I could not leave a room for 30 days, I had to be stuck in a room with all my video games and I get paid leave and a big screen TV and just sit in that room and do that, I would love it.
You don't think, though, that it could change the rest of your life? Like, you're always going to be known as the Ebola person? Like, what if he still has it? What if it never really actually goes away? What if I get it by having sex with him? What if
they could be thinking that same thing about butt cancer?
They could, but they wouldn't know it. Ebola is a big enough thing right now that everyone would know your name within, 2 hours. Everyone in the U.S. would. But butt cancer, that's one of those things where you could secretly go to the doctor and get treated. Unless you die of it, which then would not be very cool. I don't know. I'm probably there with you because Ebola is curable. And I think it would also be cool to be quarantined with my PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and 3DS and all that stuff. That would be awesome. However, who knows if they actually would be able to, you could put in that request and they'd be like, no, we're not going to give you your consoles. You're just going to sit in there. You know how sucky that would be?
That would suck. I agree. But I think to some extent they have to keep you comfortable if you're quarantined.
Yeah, they'll give you a TV and a remote.
No, that is not comforting to me.
Watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Lou. Just watch it.
That's like them putting down a dictionary in front of me and going, oh, we gave you a book.
Hey, at least you'd be smarter.
It's not necessarily true. I might not know how to read.
Yeah, I was going to say, they also need to give you an English teacher in there. I'm probably going to go with Ebola too.
I could go for a month of free time. I need the free time so badly. I can't wait for winter break.
Because I don't know how curable butt cancer is. But right now in the U.S.
It seems like a chronic thing. I mean, we have it like every week or so, I would imagine.
That's true. It keeps coming back. It's recurring. Anyway, so moving on. The game releases this week. On PlayStation 3, we've got Blaze Rush, BioShock Infinite, the Complete Edition, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Frozen Synapse Prime, MotoGP 14, Snark Busters High Society, The Wolf Among Us Season 1. On PlayStation 4, we've got The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Citizens of Earth, How to Survive, Storm Warning Edition, MotoGP 14, Rocksmith 2014, and The Wolf Among Us Season 1. On Vita, we've got The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, Citizens of Earth, Don't Die, Mr. Robot, Home, The Hungry Horde, MotoGP 14, The Walking Dead, the complete second season, and The Wolf Among Us Season 1.
Okay. So who does this one?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll take Xbox 360 and Xbox One, and then you could take PC on.
Awesome. I get to read those great names.
On Xbox 360, you've got BioShock Infinite, the Complete Edition, MotoGP 14, and The Wolf Among Us Season 1. On Xbox One, you've got Rocksmith 2014, The Wolf Among Us Season 1, and Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on both of those consoles. I guess I didn't list them on either of those. My bad.
So for PC, we have The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, Boss Constructor, one word, Citizens of Earth, Defenders of Time, Logistics Company, that one sounds full of exciting gameplay, A Bird Story, Polarity, Crown Takers, QP Shooting, Dangerous. That's one. QP Shooting Dangerous.
Dangerous.
2 exclamation points. That's why it was worth the scream. Gold Rush, exclamation point, Anniversary. Onikira, Demon Killer.
Demon Killer.
I'm guessing that's how you say that. And Football Manager 2015. For the Wii U, we're getting Citizens of Earth, Disney Planes, Fire and Rescue, Pure Solar and the Great Architects, and The Swapper. Fantastic game, go buy that one. And for 3DS, Citizens of Earth, Disney Planes, Fire and Rescue, Harvest Moon, The Lost Valley.
Woo! Another Harvest Moon game. I love Harvest Moon.
Wait, can I actually do something right now?
Yeah.
Can I do a small giveaway?
Yeah, if you want to do a giveaway, go ahead.
This is just going to be for whoever claims it first, because no one from our team has claimed it, and we just so happen to get a key for it. If you have a Wii U, I'm speaking to you directly, just let us know if you claim it. But we have a key code for Lone Survivor, which is a Wii U kind of horror game. It's 16-bit, maybe? Something like that. But definitely check it out. It's really horrifying. I can't beat it. It's got multiple endings. Try out. I have 2 keys here. I'm not sure which one it is. So you could try it out and see if either of them work. The first one is US8G 119486 000022. So if that works, then that works. I think that might be EU. I've never seen one like that. The other one, which is more likely the North American one, is A068 TPHS 11GW F5SN. So once again, that's for Lone Survivor on Wii U. Thank Curve Digital for giving us that extra game. They're very nice people and always supply us with great early release content.
For sure. So that wraps up episode 58. As a little bit of recap from the beginning of the episode. Remember, we are holding a 2-week giveaway. If you want to win any game that was released in 2014, you can, or Xbox Live Gold or PlayStation Plus for a year. You can get that as well. There are several ways to enter. You can check out the story on it. And then also we are starting our Patreon. So if you'd like to be a patron and pledge some money to supporting us and helping us grow and add more podcasts and help us pay these freaking bills, then we very, very, very much appreciate it. We look forward to all of the awesome stuff that'll come from that. Anything is a help, even if it's $1. None of this money is going to go to us like in our pockets, where it's going straight to the official PayPal account we have running everything, and it will go to help paying our bills and help expanding. So
right, this goes all towards giveaways. This goes towards us having a presence at some of the bigger gaming conventions, so we could bring you guys the news from the conventions and all of that stuff instead of just sitting by our computers. Yep. This is all good. None of this is going to go to paying us. We're still working completely paycheck free. This is still a very much a side project for us. But a side project we're really dedicated to, and we want to bring awesome content to you guys and awesome giveaways and awesome videos and all that stuff. So if you guys can help us, if you could throw in $1 or $2 or 200, and I'm not being picky, then please do so. I'm going to chip in. A lot of our team members are going to chip in.
For sure.
Because we all believe in giving you guys the best content possible.
For sure. We record the podcast on Tuesdays and release it most of the time on Tuesday nights. You can email us at contact.mong@gmail.com. You can find our Twitter at mong.com, all spelled out, mong.ncom. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Mong Network, and on Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram by just searching for Middle of Nowhere Gaming. The website is, of course, middleofnowheregaming.com, where you can find all of our latest editorials, news, reviews, and all of the podcasts, all the good stuffs. So thank you once again for listening. We will talk to you again next week. Hope to see hundreds of entries in our giveaway. Can't wait to find out who wins and what game they want. That'll be exciting. And hopefully this Patreon thing takes off and helps us pay the bills. That'll be nice. You can find us on Twitter. You can find me at Osborne_2009. You can find Lou at
Lou Cantaldi.
Are you have you changed the Boo Cantaldi?
No, I haven't changed the Boo Cantaldi yet. I want to think of a new awful pun for Thanksgiving. I'm very much a holiday person.
Okay. Interesting.
If you have a really bad Thanksgiving pun that you think will work with my name, get in touch with me. Tweet it at me.
Tweet it at Lou Cantaldi on Twitter. The Twitters. Yeah. Mong!
Mong!
I think I heard an echo.
Mong!